What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Unscripted Sports Show. I'm your host, Money E, and I'm with my brother Chris. How are you, Chris?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. It was a pretty good week. What week 10? Week 10 of football. Uh, Eagles won handily. There were some good games. The Lions game was pretty good. Oh wait, what else was pretty good? There were some good games out there. Let's see. Week I went 4-4 last week. So 46-26 on the season. You went 5-3, and Glennis went 7-1. His only loss was
Nice.
the Monday night game.
Nice.
So I had to give him credit, even though he's not on the show this week. But shout out to Glennis for going 7-1. Nice picks. 7-1. Um. So let's go over some of the games last week. Let's see what. Week 10. The Bengals and Ravens game. That was pretty good. We both had the Bengals. No, I had the Ravens. No, you had the Bengals. Me and Clarence had the Ravens. But yeah, the Bengals had this game in the bag. Not in the bag, but they were winning this game for most of the game, and they blew it again. They just couldn't finish the job, and the Ravens came back and won 35-34. I don't blame the Bengals for going for two at the end. You you have you're trying to win. You're trying to win, so they're trying to get back in the playoff race. So I don't blame them for trying to go for two and trying to go for the win. You you don't want to go into overtime against Lamar Jackson on the road. So it was a
Yeah,
risky
I
ball,
agree.
but you're in win mode now. You have to take chances sometimes in the NFL.
Yep. Yep, I agree.
What were your thoughts?
No, I agree. I think that you go for the win there. I don't see any issues with it. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, exactly. If they were at home, maybe you don't go for it, but they were on the road and you already lost to the Ravens already early in the season, so and you don't want Lamar Jackson to get the ball in overtime. So yeah,
Exactly.
it was a good game. Um, Besides the Houston game, it was probably the second best game I saw this week. 'Cause I didn't see the Steelers Commanders game, but that Commanders were winning this game too. Um, Commanders were winning this game, and the Steelers came back and won. Uh, any thoughts on this game? I thought this was a good game. Um, both Steelers are for real, so are the Commanders. We'll see them tomorrow night. Um, but yeah, it felt like the Commanders were probably due for an L after all they were on a winning streak. So this game could have gone either way, but good game from both teams. They both have
Yeah, it was a
big
good game.
divisional games this week.
Yep. Yeah, that was a good game.
Next game, Broncos and Chiefs. The Chiefs survive again. Block kick at the end. I didn't see any of this game, but block kick at the end to prevent Denver from winning. They're 9-0. They have a big game against Buffalo. I've been saying it for a couple weeks. That This is where Buffalo. The Chiefs are gonna win. Spoiler alert. I've been saying it for since the 49ers game. Since they beat the 49ers, the next chance they'll lose will be against Buffalo, and, and I stand by that. But any thoughts on the Chiefs surviving again?
I don't even pay attention to the Chiefs anymore. just they're always on prime time, so I don't. Then I need a break from Chiefs content. So not surprised that that happened. Nothing surprises me anymore with that team.
Exactly. 49ers and Bucks. We both had the Bucks. The Bucks had their chances. I didn't watch this game, but they had their chances to win this game, but they didn't. 49ers survived to go sit 5-4. They have a big game against the Seahawks this week. So there's a couple big divisional games this week.
Yep.
Bills and Colts. Bills took care of business. No need to say anything about that. Eagles and Cowboys. Any quick thoughts? There's not really anything to say about this game other than Eagles dominated. Um, it didn't in the first half. It started slow, but the second half they took over and dominated this game, like we expected.
Yeah. What more could you ask for?
Yep, nothing much to say. Cowboys are, yeah, the Cowboys are Cowboys. They look like, um, yeah, I don't know. Their defense looked good in the first half. Parsons. Other than that, they just couldn't. They turned the ball over in key times. There was a fumble by Rush and then a fumble by Elliott, and led to points for the Eagles. So that's when the Eagles took over. But
Yep.
yeah, good game by the Eagles. Dominant performance, and now we'll see what they do against Commanders tomorrow. This is probably their first real test since I want to say the Packers game or the Falcons.
No, the Bengals probably.
The Bengals, yeah. But yeah, I expect a good game tomorrow, but we'll get to that one. What else? Lions and Texans. Texans were winning this game for most of the game. This was a good game. Texans just made mistakes, and the Lions capitalized on it, and that's what good teams do. And the Lions found a way to win, just like the Chiefs did. Any thoughts on this game?
No, good performance by the Lions. Way to come back. Pretty
Yeah,
win.
yeah. Bad loss for the Texans because they could have put a long distance between that division, but they should still win that division. Dolphins and Rams. I didn't watch any of this game. I don't know what I was watching. Sam was watching college basketball, so yeah. I didn't watch
Yeah,
this
it was
game.
horrible.
Yeah, I was following it on the score, but I was watching something else. I forget what I was watching. I just didn't feel like watching this game. I had no interest in watching it, so. But yeah. Um, any final thoughts in the week 10 before we get to our picks?
No, now we can get in the picks. That was a good week of
Yeah.
games.
Tomorrow night from Philadelphia, Eagles and Commanders. 7-3 Commanders faces 7-2 Eagles. This is basically for first place. Commanders win, they're back to first. Eagles win, they take control. They take control first place for basically control their own destiny from here on out if they win tomorrow. Um, we both have the Eagles. I think it's going to be a good game. We get to see Jalen Daniels versus Jalen Hurts. Should be. I expect both quarterbacks to put on a show. I like the over in here. I like the over too. I think we could see a shootout tomorrow.
Yeah, especially on prime time.
I think it's going to be just as good as last Thursday night. So if you last Thursday night was fantastic, I think we're going to see another fantastic game between two teams that are battling for first place. Who would have thought that Commanders and Eagles would be battling for first place this year?
I know, insane.
Especially because Commanders have a rookie quarterback, but Daniel Daniels looks good even in that loss last week. He he didn't do all that great because he didn't do great in fantasy, but they had a chance to win that game last week, so it should be a good game tomorrow. We'll have the Eagles. At 3.5 is kind of tricky, so I could see this being a 3 to 7 point game. No bigger than 7, I think. So I could see the Eagles winning like 28-24 or something like that. So
Yeah, I think it's a trap line to try to get
yeah,
people to bet plus 3.5 for the field goal.
yeah.
I think the
The
Eagles
3.5,
win by a
3.5
touchdown
and
at least or
7.5 are
more.
always tricky. Yep.
Eagles are gonna win by a touchdown or more.
Yeah. Next game, probably the second biggest game of the no, probably one of the biggest games of the weekend. Ravens and Steelers, 73 versus 72. Also, you have the Ravens. I have the Steelers. Um, I just like the Steelers at home. Last time I bet against Mike Tomlin at home as an underdog, they won. So I'm not going to do that again. So I have the Steelers winning. I think these two split, and I think the Steelers win this one, and the Ravens take the next one. But I could easily see the Ravens winning too. Um, the line says it all. It's -3, so this is going to be a close game too. I'm actually surprised the Ravens are the favorite. I thought the Steelers would be maybe the favorite or pick.
Is it in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, it's in Pittsburgh. I thought it could be
Hmm.
closer to a pick 'em than -3.
The Steelers have had a really easy schedule. They haven't played anybody in the division yet, and they've already played what 10 games.
Yeah,
So they're about to lose a lot of games coming up. I think the
yeah,
Bengals and the Ravens both sweep them, and then they win their games against Cleveland. But
yeah, yeah. I think they split the Ravens because they usually split the Ravens. So we'll see. It's gonna be a good game. This should be a good game. These two always played each other tough. Ravens look to bounce back. Steelers could be a letdown spot after winning against Washington. So I could see why you picked the Ravens too. So
yeah,
I just didn't. I just didn't want to go against Mike Tomlin at home, underdog. So um, the Packers and Bears. 5-3 Packers versus 6-3 Packers versus the 4-5 Bears. The Bears have lost like 2 straight. Not competitively either. They got blown out in both games. Um, Last week was kind of a shocker because they lost to the Patriots, and then they lost to Arizona the previous week. So, and they just fired their offensive coordinator because they haven't scored a touchdown in like 23 quarters. So their offense is miserable right now. You with Yeah, the Bears offense is like off and up and down. It's been up and down this year. You have the Bears. I have the Packers. Oh, we both have the Bears. Yeah, I could see the Bears winning this game because the Packers, I don't think, are as good as their record is. I think they're just an average team. Um, and the Bears need to win, though. Go back to 500.
yeah, I like the Bears too. I think this is a letdown spot for the Packers. I think the Bears turned around here a little bit. So
New offensive coordinator. Um, we'll see new plays. So, and when
yeah, should
somebody,
inject some life in the offense.
yeah, exactly. When somebody usually gets fired, it usually um fires up the team. When the head coach is fired, unless you're the Jets, um, it usually fires up the team. Just like Dennis Allen, I knew New Orleans was going to win that game because they fired Dennis Allen, And as soon as they fired him, I knew the Saints were going to win because one, they were at home. Two, it was a divisional game, and three, they just fired the coach. So they were going to play. They were going to play hard for the new coach. So I always
Yeah.
go with that angle. Any sport, especially football and basketball, you go with that angle. But yeah, speaking of the Jets, Colts and Jets, you have the Colts, I have the Jets, and I hesitate to say the Jets because I only have the Jets because they're at home. But the Jets after their win against the Texans, um, went into Arizona and laid an egg. They had 10 days off, and they went to Arizona, and looked like the Jets five from the previous 5 weeks. That one win didn't even give them momentum. Wow, the Jets are a mess. Just like I don't know, the Jets are absolute mess. I'm hesitant to say the Jets, but as I said, the only reason I'm saying the Jets is because they're at home. And you have the Colts.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson will be back, so I think he will inject some life into this Colts offense. And
Oh, he's a starter again, or is
yeah,
Flacco injured?
no, he just Flacco's been bad, so they're going with Richardson again. Flacco might be here, I don't know, but they named
Richardson the
Richardson the
quarterback.
starter
Yeah, I mean he
for
has to
the
be the
rest of the
starter the
year.
rest of the season now, so you can't go back to Flacco.
Yeah, they already said he's gonna be yeah, he's gonna be starter next or for the rest of the year.
Uh, I was gonna say it's a battle of 40-year-olds at quarterback, but since you just said Richardson's back, it's not the battle of 40-year-olds. Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco combined age of I think 81 or something. But yeah, since
Yeah.
you just said Richardson is starting, that that moves the point of what I was gonna make. But yeah, I can see why you picked the Colts. I can see the Colts winning this game because Richardson back a quarterback. Um, but yeah, it wouldn't surprise me the Jets lost and lost badly again.
Yep.
Seahawks and Niners, 4-5 Seahawks, 5-4 49ers. You have the Seahawks, I have the Niners. Niners played well against Tampa Bay. CMC, it was back. He didn't get an end zone. I expect him to get an end zone this week, back at home. Um, yeah, I think this is gonna be a good game. Another good game. Another toss up because these two teams are just one game behind each other. I think Arizona's in first place, if I'm not mistaken, because they're system 3. Wow, or system 4. Um, yeah, I have the Niners just because they're at home. You have the Seahawks.
Yeah. um, Seahawks, I think they're, I don't know, I just don't think the Niners are good this year. Even with CMC back, I just, something off about them. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying
Yeah,
it. Haven't been healthy. I understand
so
they're healthy now, but I'm just, Super Bowl hangover.
yep, typical Super Bowl hangover. It happened to the Eagles too. So it always happens. The loser of the Super Bowl always has that hangover. If you look at history, I think I don't know what the record is of the loser in the Super Bowl the previous year, but I think you go back in history. I think most times than not, I don't think the team makes the playoffs or even has a good record. Even if they make the playoffs, they're one and done. Just like
Hmm.
just like the Eagles were. Obsession with the Patriots because the Patriots, I think, won the Super Bowl the year after we beat them, didn't they? I
Yeah, they
believe.
beat the Rams.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Besides the Patriots, Besides the Patriots, yeah, the Super Bowl hangover doesn't apply to Tom Brady. Apparently,
Hmm.
it just fuels him up. Now I think the game of the week. Um, we could argue the Steelers and Ravens or the Eagles and Commanders, but this is the game I've been saying the Bills will win for a couple weeks. This is where the Chiefs lose. Going to Buffalo. Buffalo's going to be ready for this game. They're always prepared for the Chiefs. They always love to play the Chiefs. And the fact that's in Buffalo, tough spot here for the Chiefs. I think I think they are long overdue for an L. And I think the Bills get them here.
Yeah, I like the Bills as well. I think Bills have been a popular choice in the past in this matchup. Chiefs always win, but I think this is finally when the Bills do it. So
Yeah, and the line says it all. The fact that the Bills are favorites says a lot too. I didn't think the Bills would be actually favorites. I thought the Chiefs would be favorites, or it would be a pick 'em. But I guess since it's in Buffalo, I think the books think the Chiefs are gonna, the Bills are gonna win too. So yeah, it should be a great game. It's always a great game between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes.
hmm.
I hope it's a shootout. So I'm looking forward to. It's another game I'm looking forward to watching. So should be fun. Sunday night football. We got the Bengals and Chargers. Justin Herbert versus Joe Joe Burrow. The 4-6 Bengals versus the 6-3 Chargers. I think the Bengals win. I think we both had the Bengals here. I think the Bengals win on the road. I think the Chargers have been on the high for a couple weeks, and I think the Bengals go into LA and win. Um, Similar to last week where the Dolphins went to LA and beat the Rams. I think the Bengals need to win to stay in the playoff race. Just like the Dolphins went to LA and won to stay in the stay somewhat in the playoff race. But yeah, I can see the Bengals winning here. Um, I think the line says it all. -1.5. Um, yeah, I like the Bengals.
Yeah, I do too. I think Bengals will probably end up winning like 9 games, and they might make a push at the playoffs. 9 maybe,
9-8.
9-8, something like that. Maybe 10-7, something like that. So I still think the Bengals do make the playoffs. I think Joe Burrow is playing out of his mind, but
Yeah,
yeah,
him and Jamar Chase are leading the league in passing yards and reception yards.
yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, those two are if you have those two in fantasy, you're very happy. I have both of them in fantasy in one league, but that team, uh, yeah, that team sucks in that league, in the Yahoo league.
yeah. I agree. Same here.
I don't have anybody besides those two. It's hard. The Yahoo leagues that we're in are like there's like nobody on waivers. Like you never get anybody.
Yeah, it's so hard.
But Monday night football from Jerry's world is the showdown in Texas showdown. Now the NFL didn't want the Cowboys to be 3-6 at this point, but here we are. You got the Texans and Cowboys, the Battle of Texas, long Star State battle, little brother versus the big brother. Um, I have the Texans. Texans are coming off two tough losses. I think they bounce back here and take it to the Cowboys. Cowboys are just waiting for the season to be over. Yeah, I don't see any way the Cowboys win this game because the Texans need to win. But you have the Cowboys.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's bounce back game for the Cowboys, um, especially in Gerald. I don't think they lose back to back. I know it's Cooper Rush, but I also don't think the Texans' offensive line is that good. Um, I think
Yeah,
it's been getting exposed all season. So, couple that with like a pass rush that really gave the Eagles some problems. I think it's a recipe for the Cowboys to win.
yeah. I think the line says take the Cowboys because I think the Cowboys will actually keep this close because the Cowboys need to play a close game at home. They've been getting blown out every game at home this season. So I think this is the game where it's actually close. So from that point of view, from that standpoint, I agree. I would take the Cowboys plus 7.5, but I think the Texans still win. But it should be an interesting game because Texans are on a 2-game losing streak themselves. So and they're trying to win
Yeah,
that. They're trying to win the division too.
yeah,
Um,
that's a good point.
our Week 10 MVPs. You had Jamar Chase. He had 3 touchdowns, so I can understand that. I almost went with him myself. But I went with Carlton Davis. He had 2 interceptions in that big comeback from the line, so he was a big part of that comeback. 2 key interceptions in the second half. So I went with Carlton Davis. He's a stud.
Yeah, yeah, good picks. I think um, Jamar Chase arguably put up one of the greatest performances ever for a wide
Yeah,
receiver, maybe second to the Megatron performance when he had like 290 something yards. So, yeah, that's why I chose him.
yeah. He gave me 55 points in one of my ESPN leagues, and I still lost. I don't know because cause other players didn't perform well. I had Daniels and I had Devontae Smith, which both didn't give me anything. So that's how fantasy goes. uh, our week 10 power rankings for last week. I had the Lions, Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Commanders. You had the Ravens, Chiefs, Lions, Bills, and Eagles. This week, you have the Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, Eagles, and Lions. For me, I have. Oh, I'll let you speak in this first.
Yeah, best five teams in the league, in my opinion. First three are undeniable, in my opinion. Chiefs,
Yeah,
Ravens, and Bills. Probably the Lions for sure. They're the best team in the NFC, but since these are power rankings, the Eagles haven't lost a game. The Eagles have won what, five straight, something like that,
yeah.
four straight. So yeah,
When was their last loss? The Falcons?
Falcons,
No, that was their first loss.
Tampa Bay. Then they lost
Tampa
back to
Bay.
back.
That's right. Yep, Tampa Bay. Because they lost 2 straight, and then
Yeah, they started 1-2.
yep, and then panic mode started with us, and then we went and Nick Sirianni fired and all that, and they won 5 straight.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, I think the Eagles and Lions are the 2 hottest teams in the NFC. Probably besides the Chiefs, they're probably the 2 hottest teams in the NFL. Chiefs, Lions, Chiefs, Bills, and Eagles are my top 4 are the hottest teams in football right now. Or even the Steelers. You could say all those 5 teams, right? The 5 teams I have are the hottest teams in football right now. Lions have won like 5 straight. Chiefs are undefeated. The Bills, I don't know when they lost. The last time they lost too. Texans. They lost to the Texans. And then the Eagles have won 5 straight. And then the Steelers have won like 4 in a row or something. So yeah, I we have similar top fives, but you have the Ravens, I have the Steelers, and you could you could argue either one because those two teams are the best two teams in their division. So, and we'll find out which one is the best on Sunday.
Yep. Yep, I agree.
Let's see. Our week 11 fantasy player. I'm going with Jared Goff to bounce back from the 5 interception game. He's back. They're back at home facing a Jaguars team that's just falling apart. Jags blew another lead that they had won, but no, they didn't blow another lead, but they could have won that game. I'm going with Jared Goff to bounce back. I think he has a good game this on Sunday. I think they get St. Brown back into it, and yeah, and they take it to the Jags on Sunday. You went with AJ Brown.
Yeah, he just owns the Commanders, especially Manuel Forbes, Marshall Lattimore. Even though they traded for him, he's not playing. He's still dealing with an injury.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think he's going to destroy him like he always does.
yeah. AJ Brown is due for a touchdown too. He hasn't had a touchdown since for like 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, I think. So he's only had 3 touchdowns this year, so he's due for a big game.
I agree.
And especially on Sunday night on Thursday night football prime time. Yeah, I could see AJ Brown. I almost went with AJ Brown myself. So Thursday night bets. I have AJ. Speaking of AJ Brown, I have AJ Brown over 82 yards, 82.5 yards receiving, minus 113. And you went with the Eagles spread, minus 3.5, both on FanDuel. I think the spread could go down to 3 by tomorrow, but we'll see. I think there might be some money when to come on the Commanders, but I'm not sure. You never know. But our week 11 bets. Oh, here's the bye week. Week 11 bets. I have the Steelers money line plus 150, and you have the Seahawks money line plus 240. Pretty good bet. Both on FanDuel, pretty good bets there. Yeah. Any final thoughts for week 11, Chris?
No, I think it will be a lot of good games. All the primetime games are actually looking good, so excited.
Yeah, I'm actually glad the Eagles are playing tomorrow. That because the Chiefs, because you have 2 games on Sunday, that's pretty good. That's 3. Steelers and Ravens, and then Chiefs and Bills. So at least people get to watch that, and the Eagles are playing tomorrow. So that's a pretty good,
Yep.
good primetime games this week. You have tomorrow. You have Sunday night football. You have Bengals and Chargers. Even though the Cowboys stink, it's still a battle of Texas. Everybody's going to be watching that game because it's battle of Texas and Jerry's World, and everybody watches the Cowboys. Even though the people who hate Cowboys, they still watch the Cowboys. It's like the
Of
Yankees.
course. Yep.
Did they
Yep, I
either want to
agree.
watch them? What were you going to say?
No, I agree.
Yeah, it's like the Yankees or the Lakers or Celtics. They either want to watch them win or watch them lose. So you might hate them, but you still watch them.
Yep.
That's why they're popular, and that's why they get the primetime games because people watch them. But for Money Ian, Chris, we're out. Bye later,
All right.
Chris.
Talk to you later. See ya.
Yep, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye bye.